Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sink three-pointers, money shots, all net, all vets. Bumps we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept the storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North Mex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers. Fabric softener, jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch storage type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like porch lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, that scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost they souls, niggas got holes in they feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotions. Descendant of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly, making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Blast.
From TV.
Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sink three-pointers, money shots, all net, all vets. Bumps we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept the storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North Mex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers. Fabric softener, jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch storage type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like porch lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, that scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost they souls, niggas got holes in they feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descendant of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Bless.
Crumb TV.
Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. Welcome to another episode of Sacrilegious Sundays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. And that song that you just heard right there, that is Theta Waves featuring the Twin Pillars. Yeah, I wanted to hear that shit with bombs going off in real life yesterday. That's the only, when you really think about it, like that's really what I wanted. I wanted to hear that at 20 decibels with bombs, fuck a firecracker, bombs going off type shit. You know what I mean? We got to make that happen. You know, we got to make that happen, like for real, for real. I need to hear that at deafening. I need to hear that when my ears start ringing type. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. That's what I need. But anyway, how's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing today? You know? Hope everybody is good on this good Sunday. I hope y'all had a safe, strong end type shit. I hope y'all been protecting yourselves from this heat. Y'all not out here heat stroking and whatnot with your pale cousins, you know? I hope it. You say you got a verse for that. Yo. You know how Big Daddy Kane did the open verse? Like, I won't be stingy with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get down like that. Like, I do think that I'm going to talk to Blue. We might have to open verse that ish. I think we might have to open it up. You know what I mean? Let y'all do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear y'all dance on that beat, you know? Type, yeah. That's not the... I'm really thinking about that. I feel like we deserve that. You know what I'm saying? We definitely deserve that, yo. So, man, oh, man, oh, man. We're going to talk. Let's do the roll call. Let's see who's in the building on this Sunday. You smell me? Shout out to everybody pulling up. Shout out to everybody pulling up. Yes, indeed. All right, let's see who's outside. Yes. Y'all feeling that idea? Y'all like, yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna talk to like I said, I'm gonna talk to the pillar. You know, I'm gonna talk to Blue about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm I turned down a epic. I'm not even gonna say the artist's name. I'm talking about a legendary artist. A legendary artist. I was like, he was like, "Yo, I need a verse on that," and I was like, "Nah, fam. I like this shit the way it is. I don't. It's some things you just don't mess with. You know what I'm saying?" I was like, "That shit is just rocking as it is. I don't even want to remix. Like, I don't want to change the vibes." So that's what I was thinking, but I gotta let me sleep on it. You know what I'm saying? Let me marinate with it. North Miami in the building. We got 9th East Chicago to Minnesota. Okay. That's like the route that y'all take, right? The Chicago to Minnesota route. That's like a thing. You know what I mean? Like how New Yorkers is in North Carolina a lot. You know what I mean? That's like a natural progression, right? Chicago, Minnesota. Kansas City in the building. We got Detroit in the building. You understand? Naptown in the building. Alabama in the bill. We got Boston up in this biatch. Portland, Manhattan, Kansas, KCMO up in here, Jersey. We got Iowa. We got Jackson, Duval, Michigan up in Michigan. The Gas House up in there. Somebody said Nas. Nah, I ain't turning Nas down, bro. I'm not turning Nas down. If Nas, listen, if Nas reach out, we gonna have a damn if Nas reach out, we are going to have a EP in the works. We ain't just doing one song. If he even come to the if some pull up to the studio, I'm locking the door until we get 5 songs, and that shit is getting pressed up in like 2 weeks. I was listening to it's 30 years since he dropped It Was Written, and I was vibing to that. You feel me? And I was like, yo, this is part of my DNA. You know what I mean? Like when you listen to those classics, it reminds you how much impact, you know, we so arrogant these days. We be feeling ourselves, but it's like, nah, a lot of these artists, they were a part of our at least mine. I'm not talking for, I can't speak for everybody, but he's a part of my childhood and whatnot. So we got Kentucky in the building, South Miami in the building, Greensboro in the building, Charleston in the building, Oak Cliff in the building, Dallas in the building, Lexington in the building, DMV in the building, Atlanta in the building, Canada in the building, North Alabama in the building, Charlotte in the building, St. Louis. St. Louis in the building. Oakland up in this thing. Lansing in the thing. Cleveland in this thing. Vegas. PA. All right. Sacrilegious Sacramento up in this thing. You know what I'm talking about? Jersey up in this thing. Orangeburg, South Carolina. I never drove through there. Shout out to Orangeburg. St. Louis, Missouri. Delaware. Shreveport. Pittsburgh. South Carolina. Cincinnati. Some songs are themes to my life, right? Like literally themes, like not just a lyric, not just a verse, not a little catchy hook and whatnot. These shits are thematic. So there's not too many artists that really catch me and you know, have still, it gives me that goosebump feeling. But Nas is the classics, to be honest with you. The new music, I still rock with him because he's keeping up and whatnot. He hasn't necessarily, you know, he's not really like, he hasn't fallen off, but I prefer the classics, respectfully. I prefer the classics, you know, definitely. He was born in 94. Oh yeah. You tapped into the classics. You feel me? You was on a vibration when you was born. It's all good. Delaware, St. Louis, Alabama, Belize. All right, Delaware again, New Bedford. Okay, so for everybody that's here, how many of y'all had a tornado either yesterday or the day before? Let me know. How many of y'all witnessed tornado-like weather? You know? I gotta catch that. I thank you for even bringing that up, man. He need a promotional team because, you know, I'm not saying that he needs a promotional team, but we need for the independent artists, we need like a megalithic, we need like a promotional company, a publishing, distribution. Like we need a machine for them. We do. We need a machine for them because they should be pushed hard body, pause. Like they should be getting pushed the same way that the machine is pushing, you know, Young Miami, for instance. Don't get me started. You know, for the record, and I'll just put it out there like this with the Young Miami shit, because they got a lot of people out here, you know, pulling their hamstrings and whatnot over this young girl and her fucking song and whatnot. And I would just say that every year some shit. When are we gonna grow up? You know, every year is some shit. Yeah, the song has a negative connotation. I'm an ex booster. I cried recently trying to convince. I'm 50 years old, and I was tearing up talking to one of my day ones, right? Trying to talk him off of the roof in so many ways, because this man decided that he wanted to be a booster his whole fucking life, and his life is destroyed. And he has a lot of situations where, you know, shit is not going right for him. And he told me boosting in 2025 and 2026 is like, you know, strapping a bomb. It's a suicide mission. And I'm like, damn, my heart is hurting and whatnot. And I'm tearing up talking to this man, trying to steer him right. You know what I mean? But I think it's too late. It's too far gone. So I know the negative effects of that life. You know, I know the negative effects, and I'm here to let you know, fast money, it just ain't real money. It's not sustainable. You know what I'm saying? Is that song gonna convince people to become boosters? I have no idea. I know the scammers are getting more time than boosters and whatnot. You fuck around and start scamming and shit and get jammed up, you looking at 40 to 50 to 60 you in the feds. So I can't single out Young Miami, because damn near 95% of the songs on the radio, if you were to follow everything that they were saying, your ass would be in the pen. Your ass would be on lockdown. Your ass would be in a clinic somewhere. Let's be real. We could take an audit of everything that's coming through the airwaves and whatnot. Don't single her out. Don't single her out. You know? I would say we need lyric reform. I would say, where the fuck is Rock? Where the fuck is all of these artists who we supposed to have pedestaled? You know what I mean? Where are they at? Where's the God Hop movement? Where's all of these nice artists at? Did they lose steam and whatnot? Why did nobody fund their movement? You know what I'm saying? All of these basketball players, why can't they get a loan from Kyrie Irving or Jaylen Brown? Like, who's their favorite artist that's smart? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Who's their favorite? Where's LeBron's favorite woke artist? Why don't they fund them? Where's Lizzie Jeff? Like, where are these artists who could become the balance? Because they're like, there's no Queen Latifahs out here. That's a lie. That's a goddamn lie. You know? That's a goddamn lie. Where they at? Because me personally, I'm not a conscious rapper. That's not my bag. I'm not a woke rapper. I'm not a conscious rapper. My discography is not screaming fight the power. That's just not what I'm doing. I'm more of a God hopper. You feel me? I'm a lyricist. I like bars, you know, and I got different flows and whatnot. So I don't pigeonhole myself. I'm not stuck in a and I don't want to pigeon. I don't even want to identify with anything. I just am an artist. Like, I could pick up a paintbrush and just paint like how I regularly draw. I just draw based on how I feel, you know? But where are the artists who agreed that this is what they want to be? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, could anybody describe what Scorpio King is as 10 years old? Can anybody describe what that sound is? Because I don't know what that sound is. But it was a defining sound in 2016. It was a soundtrack to a movement but it wasn't like Tribe Called Quest. It wasn't like backpack rap. The shit that Cambada is doing, that's not backpack rap. That's not boom bap rap. So I don't even know where we fit. I wouldn't say, yo, I mean, for the hell of the clout, I would say if you a conscious chick with a septum ring and you want to get some motherfucking clout, go and diss her. Go jump on her beat and clean it up. You know? Go jump on her beat and don't get at her. I mean, fuck that. Get at her. You know what I mean? You might want to get at her. She likes getting peed on. There's a lot of things about Young Miami. If you wanted to battle rap her, you could go at her, but that would just be kind of like tasteless. But hey, they all tasteless. Don't start getting you know what I'm saying? For the sake of anything, don't start getting all sacrilegious now. You know, hip hop is a gladiator sport or something. But I'm torn. I'm torn because I'm not here to promote that shit. I don't like when I saw her performing in New York City at the Knicks parade and she was on a float and they were talking about spin that shit. I was like, what the hell? What type of tasteless trash? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell are we? Why is she in New York? First of all, I think Fat Joe brought her out there so they could shoot a video. You know what I mean? He's trying to revive his career and fight back against the pushback that he got from the FBAs. They had him on the ropes. I must admit, y'all almost had that nigga. Y'all did. Y'all should have kept him. Y'all should have kept up with him. Cause that nigga's back in rare form. Fat Joe with the knock knees, he's back in rare form. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, y'all didn't kill him. You know what I'm saying? You know what they say about them? If you don't kill the roach, he gonna come back with an immunity. So now Fat Joe is back. He's starting a whole campaign. He got Jadakiss as a silent killer with him. You know what I'm saying? Like he done went and formed Voltron on y'all. He got Mano. All of the New York rappers is backing up Fat Joe. You know what I mean? They're not gonna let him die. Y'all had him for a moment. Y'all almost checkmated him, but no cigar. But when I seen on the float, I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Jada saved him. Jada saved his ass. We already know this. You know, I don't know I don't know what type of deal, because they not even buddies like that in real life. I didn't even think that they was buddies like that. You know? He got the podcast right after the FBA shit. Right. Now his ass is up. They got his ass like he's up. You know what I'm talking about? He's up. The show is not that bad. I don't really watch it and whatnot, but the nigga's up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And he's trying to frame. He's sitting up there with his, you know what I mean? Telling mad stories, embellishing the shit out of everything. You know how he go. If according to him, he was there with George Washington and them. He was there. He was chilling when they signed the Declaration of Independence. Him and Big Pun. You know? So it's like everything has its place. And you know, we the aunties and the uncles and shit like that. So anytime we try to rate something, or anytime we try to, you know, speak unfavorably about something, oh, you are old man, you know, all of that, they try to age shame you. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. You know, the song is catchy. It is catchy. They got a little dance to go with it and all of that. She looks good. I seen her in New York. I mean, I guess it's the surgery or whatever. You know, I would be a hater to be like, damn, she looked tired and everything. She's washed and all of that. No, she relaxed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? She was in the gym and then she popped back out. You know what I'm saying? I guess that helps a little bit. You know what I mean? I guess it helps. I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to. I would be a hater if I was to say, "Oh, she looks bad and she's horrible." Nigga, to the standards of Instagram and all of this stupid shit, she's not a bad look. But we know all of the things. But and now it's like they bring it up. She likes getting peed on. You know, she's a golden shower advocate and all of these. She's a freak out of Florida. Give me a 1 in the chat if being a freak in Florida is like how peanut butter and jelly go together. Just put a 1 in the chat if being freaky in Florida goes together like peanut butter and jelly. Because she ain't start that shit. I used to live in Miami. She did not start it. She's a city girl. And she started this whole trend of city girl ratchetness. You know what I mean? It is still fire bun pun her. You know what I'm talking about? It is still fire bun. Don't think that I'm up here trying to cap for no goddamn Young Miami or nothing. It's fire bun pun her. Because she did steer the young women. Because if they bring it up, all spin that the people are boosting. Nigga, she's a city girl. You forgot? People's mentality is like very short-sighted, and she's a fucking city girl, bro. She started that trend. She helped to start that trend where young girls are putting their bodies up in Miami. They said that Miami, everybody in Miami damn near selling themselves right now. You feel me? All of the girls in Miami is like for sale. So the fact that her proclivities, remember that word, right? The fact that her proclivities, this is where it gets weird, right? It started with like a Trina. Trina's not a bad look on the eyes, okay? Trina, when she first popped out with Trick Daddy Dollars, right? When Trick Daddy Dollars popped, right? She was she looked good to people. Remember back then? Trina was like an anomaly and whatnot when she popped out. Niggas was like, oh shit, everybody didn't look how she looks now. Everybody didn't, they cloned her later on. And when she first popped out, it was kind of like, oh shit, that she's rare. She looked good and what she's on that. The fact that she looked good to what looked good standards was, but then she was into some real freaky shit. Freaky by today's standards, no. Freaky by back in those days standards, yes. You know, Nia. And she was talking about prostitution and all of that. You know, Nia. Right? I saw the influence because when a pretty girl who's turned out, right? When a pretty girl who's turned out gets on a stage and gets on a mic and she starts saying some other shit, yeah, that's when it really goes down. You saw it with little Kimberly Jones, when she popped out, right? When she popped out, the fact that she was into, you know, and it's almost like when you look at it, we could break it down, but it's stages to how they are unfolding their proclivities. I'll just say proclivities so we don't start acting like we're like this is an Amish podcast and we're over here pointing fingers. This is not you know what I mean? This is not TD Jake's show right here. But this is also not a show where I'm getting up here to be a slob. I'm not getting up here to be a quote unquote. I want to be responsible, but I also want to be real. You know what I'm saying? But I also want to be real because I was outside. You feel me? I was fucking with the goddesses. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I was never paid for nothing. Well, I did pay for the Uber. But anyway, I wasn't a part of it, but I was boosting. I was a part of the boosting era. That's my name was known. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to be messy. And I'm not trying to be one of those angry men who you could tell 5 minutes into their talk that they have a disdain for women, right? Foxy Brown, it was a duo. It was Foxy and Kim. It was like, and Foxy was bad, and Little Kim was bad. And the shit that they were talking about hit differently because they was bad. And then it didn't help that they had some flow with them. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't like they was doing nursery rhymes and whatnot. They had flow. So Foxy was convincing the girls to kind of like really fuck with like, you know, like the real killers. That was her thing. Like she's on a Greyhound moving pounds. She was promoting like the mule lifestyle, like moving weight for niggas, lining dudes up for other dudes. That was like Foxy Brown shit. Like she's Trinidadian, right? She's Trinidadian, I believe. She was for lining niggas up. That was Foxy's thing. Like she was there to kind of like, you know, she was the equivalent of the girl who Max B caught that charge. Max B had a stripper girl and she set one of the dudes up and Max B came and robbed him. That's the type of shit Foxy and them was promoting. Yeah, the firm and all of that. You know what I mean? And hanging out with like the Willies and everything. I'm not saying that she started the backdoor trend. No, but she, you know, she kind of like, her energy was kind of like backdoorish, right? Foxy Brown, I mean, Little Kim on the other side was a little more, you know, she was with the boosters. She was with the scammers. She was with the, you know, she was with the shooters and she was with some of the street dudes. She was with Junior Mafia, right? So they were still clashing with each other and everything, but them clashing drug. Remember when I said before, when two elephants fight, the grass suffers? So just them clashing created a force field in New York and thus outside of New York around the world because they were featured. This is before the internet. They were like front cover of the Vibes, the Source magazines. So by them, they created like a magnetic field that sucked all of the women into it. You dig? She was rapping about Coke cans. Yikes. Yucks. So yeah, Little Kim was giving stripper energy, like corn energy. Foxy Brown was more so giving like, you know, we gonna tie niggas up. Firm biz. Thank you, Slauson Girl. What up, Slauson Girl? You feeling this conversation? You know what I'm talking about? Because I know you out there on Slauson and shit. It gets real and whatnot. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to keep it. I'm not trying to be biased. I just want to keep it a little journalistic and give people some context and whatnot. Because yes, it is deeper than Young Miami. We do have this conversation either every summer or every other year and whatnot. And it's an interesting conversation because still there's people that are being affected by the lyrics, by the music, by the frequency. That's not going to go away. Okay? That's not going to go away until we learn to balance this thing out. And until we, until we could, the movie Sinners. Thank you, Ja Inslee. The movie Sinners. It showed us in Technicolor how powerful the frequency is. We saw it in real time. We know what it is. Shout out to Sammy smoking stacks. And now this is not a movie. This is real life. So it's a difference. You know what I'm talking about? This is real life. But then look at how karma works. Foxy is deaf right now. Just look at the irony in it. Foxy can't even hear. She can't even hear, right? And there's been talk, she's not even in the limelight no more. You know what I'm talking about? She's been blackballed, pushed out the industry. They talk crazy about that girl. Then look at Little Kim. Look at what she's going through. You feel me? And I'm not saying nothing crazy about her, but I'm like, fam, if you hold the poster up of the original Kimberly Jones and then you look at who we looking at now, it's like, damn, look at what karma did. That's karma. I saw Lauryn Hill at the BET Awards. I saw Queen Latifah at the BET Awards, right? I saw MC Lyte at the BET Awards. I saw Nia Long. I saw a lot of the women. I saw Erica Badu. I saw Jill Scott the other day. So it's like the women is. I saw Eve on the couch the other day doing interviews. They not. I saw Janet Jackson with Farrakhan's son at the funeral. So they look amazing. They look frozen in time. I saw Nasir Jones. He looked younger now than he did when he was beefing with Jay-Z. Or no, when he was married to Khalees. Anybody that could survive Khalees and still look young like that, you got the Henrietta Lacks cells. They need to get this nigga DNA. You know what I'm talking about? You saw Miss Jackson, right? You seen her? I seen her. She chilling with young Farrakhan. Respectfully. Queen Latifah look amazing. You know what I'm saying? They all look amazing. So when even Khalees is looking good, I God, oh man. Lord had mercy. One-way ticket to Kenya or wherever the fuck she at. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. To go plant some corn and some eggplants and some pumpkins and some yams. Yeah, she got a farm. Yeah, that part. Anyway, they don't talk about selling box. They don't talk about prostitution. They don't talk about none of these things in their raps. They're not talking about setting men up and tying them up and you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, she was with Bill Murray. That's why she's on a farm now. Trying to get her, you know what I mean? She was with Bill Murray and she had to go to Africa and repent. You see how that works? You see how that works? Bill Murray he sent her ass to Africa. She had to be amongst the tribe, my niggas, to get her shit back. You know? The fuck? Bill Murray, I think that was a rumor. I refuse to believe it. You know? But anyway, these girls, these women, I'm sorry, you know, it may help that they don't have no men stressing them out because, you know, they be, you know, Queen Latifah is dodging a relationship. MC Light out here dodging niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. They don't got that type of stress. But Little Kim, with the men that she was with, World, she was with a super uber gangster, World. Then she was with a few other niggas that drove in the ground. You know? Foxy Brown. She was with Polite. You know, they were dating. She was with Michael Nowak, nigga. She was with Baby Sham or, you know what I mean? She was with Corrupt. Yeah. She ain't dodged them enough. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know how she looked. I just know she can't hear right now. And you know, that's a horrible thing, man. But I'm sure that she's holding it together. Foxy is a gangster. You know what I'm talking about? Foxy she's a gangster. She ain't, yeah, that was Polite's girl for a minute. He was about to bring into the community. Facts. Tracy Ella Ross. Ain't she pregnant? Is she with child? Or am I hearing things right? Where is Doechii? I have no idea. 11:11, all Moors go to heaven. Where is Doechii at? The fuck? She ain't dropped no freestyles or nothing. She got money. She got money. She don't want to rap no more. The fuck? I thought the name of the game when you get on is to rap. And keep rapping. She out the way creating? Like Tyler? Okay. I saw pictures of SZA the other day. Lord have mercy. You know she a Scorpion, so she crazy like me. All I could do is shake her hand. But SZA, yeah, her skin glowing. She's doing the inward work. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm sure she enjoying life. You know. You said Trina still looking good. Trina got like a woke man. Like her boyfriend is like a woke. He look like he read books. Scarlett is outside. Watch out, she got a new one coming. Scarlett is outside. Where's Kendrick at? He's letting Baby Keem shine. You see how that works? Baby Keem, when Kendrick is out, you don't see Baby Keem. And then when Baby Keem pop out, Kendrick go inside. They don't want to hog the camera. You know what I mean? But you know he cooking up something. Yeah, Scarlett is coming. Scarlett is. I seen her shooting a video and all of that. She shot a video with the girl who beat the woman up at the Knicks parade. That was twerking on a light pole. Yeah, she's in the video. Watch out for that. Family Ties. Yeah, I like the Casino album. Yeah, Baby Keem is a great artist. Young Ma, Young and May. Young and May. Young and May. I like Young and May. She got style. You know? I think she funny. Where's Lauren London at? That's a good ass question. You know what I'm saying? Healing. I guess she's healing. I did not hear Tierra Whack's album. However, I am a big Tierra Whack fan. Don't ask me what my favorite song is. I couldn't tell you. But she's a dope artist. I like her. I like Rhapsody. I just think when I see Rhapsody, I see Black Lives Matter. Respectfully, it's like I see Talib Kweli. I see, that's what. Yeah, Rhapsody just dropped something. Yeah. Mona Leo. Yeah. Nah. I ain't doing that to her. Rhapsody is fire. She got bars. She does. I do. I won't do that. Rhapsody is fire. I'm just saying, she just reminds me of the woke. It's just woke. And who is this? Mona Leo. She got bars. I heard some of her stuff. Yep. Damn, England beat them. Damn, son. You trolling me? Or is that real? What's up with all of these white folks winning in soccer, man? Y'all, listen. In 4 more years, I'm putting everybody on notice. Listen. My African brothers, you've been eating the jollof rice. You didn't tell us about football. I don't know why, but we have it from here. You sit down and eat your jollof and do what you do, but it's time for the American blacks to take over. Yeah, 4 more years. Soccer, we are taking soccer back. This is no longer your sport. Yeah, all you niggas from the Caribbean and everything. I remember back in the days, we used to fight y'all. We take over. We used to, like back in the days, we would fight the Haitians and the Jamaicans, and they would go right for your shins. Dead ass. They would never box. They was always kicking niggas. If anybody used to get busy in high school and beat up on the Caribbean dudes and y'all know what I'm talking about. They would go right for your shin cap. They would go for your kneecaps and your shin. Now that I'm looking at the World Cup, I understand what it was. Y'all niggas is some soccer player ass niggas. Y'all like to kick. Yeah, they kick it. Yeah, kick push ass nigga. Yeah, they go right for your shin. That's what it was. Y'all was trying to be messy and all of that. But we didn't know. We had no idea. But let me tell you something. Football. Let me tell you something about niggas with the Henrietta Lack genes. We adapt. There's some niggas in the projects right now looking at all of that weak ass shit that y'all be on the field doing, saying, why are they not doing windmill kicks? You got to understand how we think. I don't think people understand how we think. We not looking at the stuff that they doing as fire. Like, it's okay, But it's niggas in the PJs, it's niggas in NYCHA right now, it's niggas in public housing in a court somewhere. You know what I'm saying? This like, yo, they eating ramen noodles and they like, man, I could do that shit with my eyes closed. Facts. And in 4 more years, y'all are gonna see some shit that you never saw before. Facts. They're gonna turn this shit into the Harlem Globetrotters. Dead ass. You know what I'm saying? I promise you. I'm plugged in. I'm plugged in. You know what I'm saying? I already know what it is. I know what it is. For all of them years, we used to walk past the playground and the Jamaicans was out there mad deep drinking the Guinness Stout, having the football matches. We ain't pay that shit no mind. Now we are competing with y'all. Facts. We are in the fucking building with y'all. And then we found out how much is paying. And then we found out that the women from Cape Verde and Brazil is on that. They like that. Yeah, nigga, guess what? Yeah, we about to adapt and take that shit over. Respectfully, y'all had it and y'all didn't do what you were supposed to do. Y'all was getting shut down. Y'all letting the fucking Nordics and the Vikings pack you up. Yeah, we gonna take over from here. Okay, yeah. All of the red stripes that was drunk over the years and the Guinness Stouts, and y'all out here losing to fucking Vikings, nigga. Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. Respectfully, we got it from here. Y'all not about to be hosting shit in America and getting packed up. You know what I'm talking about? We got this shit. I promise you. Mark my word. What's today's date? Yeah. Freeze this shit and bring it back in 4 years, and you'll be like, damn, I remember Red said that. Niggas is gonna go full Carmelo Anthony, Jalen Brunson on the soccer ball. Dead ass. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to be rated. We didn't know that the women went crazy for shit like that. We just saw Jamaicans drinking Red Stripe playing soccer. We didn't know it was attached to baddies. The fuck? We had no idea. We had no idea that the whole world go crazy like that. But we on it. Y'all better watch out. Y'all had y'all fun. Watch out. Don't hate on the guys. But the guys are coming. Yes, while doing the Millie Rock. You know what I'm talking about? While doing the Millie Rock. Yeah, thank you, I Show Speed. He helped out. You know what I'm saying? He definitely helped out, but we got it from here. That nigga from France is a beast. Son from Spain is a beast. You know what I mean? Yamil, yeah, he's a problem. His foot play is crazy. But you're going to tell niggas from Memphis, you're going to tell niggas with foot play from Chicago, you're going to tell niggas who be doing them dances that they can't play soccer? Nah, y'all about to see something. Dead respectfully. Yeah, hold my Joloff, nigga. Yeah, hold my Joloff. Let me get that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me get that. The hell? He said soul gold. They be out there with their Jerry curl juice flying. You know what I'm saying? With the soul. Yeah, I Show Speed. He definitely tried to tell us. They wasn't listening. He did try to put us on. He tried to put us on. We was sleeping. But we are some believers now, my G. We are some believers. We understand. We understand. And think about it. It's like the scene in Belly where Tommy Buns, when Lennox told Tommy Buns to come to Jamaica and knock off the Big Willie, right? The nigga with the feathers in his hair. Beg for $1, beg for $1. In Tommy Buns' mind, he was like, I don't know who this dude is. Y'all in Jamaica scared about the nigga, but I don't know. He's just another op to me, right? And then he went over there. He didn't care about none of the propaganda. Beg for $1, and body them. That's the same thing how we see soccer. We don't know about none of that other shit. We don't care. Don't tell us about that. All we know is we got to put that ball in that big ass goal. Nigga, that's not even a basketball rim. You see how big that shit is? That net, man, listen. You damn right. Sham God on a soccer field, nigga. AI on a soccer field. Allen Iverson, nigga. Not artificial. Yeah, nigga, Allen on the Bubba Chuck on the soccer field. So we don't have that type of hang up. It's mental. It's all mental. You're not gonna stump us with Messi and a nigga. They look sweet to me. I don't know what y'all looking at. Ronaldo and all niggas look sweet. What do you mean? So all we finna do is go up in that bitch and kick them down. The same way that when the Africans saw what the football with NFL, they was like, wait, all we got to do is run with the ball to that other side and run over niggas. Oh, give me the ball. They don't care about, they not reading none of the plays. Give me the ball. The Nigerian nigga running through shit because he don't program him with the fear. All he sees is the win. And that's how our people are with this football. All we gonna see is the win. We don't care about none of that other stuff. We like, listen, what y'all will need us to do? Kick it in there? Pass these guys? Oh, say less. How much you gonna pay me? Oh, damn. You look in the stands and whatnot, and it's all of these women waving. Oh, gosh, let's go. That niggas is gonna show off. The Kyrie foot handle. Facts. That's a fact. So now that we saw that the melanated football players are some of the best and have some of the best style, that's the 100 monkey theory. We already uploaded that skill. The skill has been uploaded. We got it. Now it's time to metamorph it. It's going to run through our DNA and through our Henrietta Lack genes. And we about to turn this shit into something different. I promise you. And it's not even going to be in 4 years. You're going to see this shit by next summer. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But anyway, the whole 250th anniversary was the worst thing ever. It was so trash. The 4th of July, it was so trash. And it is a perfect analogy of what the 250 years of these trash ass people have been. It couldn't be anything else but what it was yesterday because these niggas try to celebrate on top of trash. They try to put lipstick on a pig. The only thing that they could have did in the 250th year to help their karma is to sign a paper for reparations. That would be the only thing that they could do is for the orange man, numbers 45, whatever we calling him, 47, whatever, to sit at his oak desk and be like, yo, executive order 666, we are going to give $10 trillion to these niggas. Facts. Because at the 250th year mark, we realize that these are the only niggas that's holding this shit together. If we were to export, if we were to deport every single black person from the North America, that bitch will sink the next day. The Goliath, what do they say? The Leviathan is waking up. That bitch will wake up and swallow this shit. The skies will open up and the aliens will start hitting these niggas, bro. That's the only reason why they are somewhat, they're spared and whatnot. But what did Marcus Garvey say? What is they could talk about Marcus all they want. That man was a motherfucking prophet. What did Marcus Garvey say? He said, look for me in the whirlwind. What is the whirlwind? The whirlwind is the tornadoes. The whirlwind is the sandstorms. The whirlwind is the motherfucking, what's that shit? The tornadoes, the sandstorms, and the hurricanes. That's the whirlwind. And it comes up the coast of Africa. It originates on the continent. That's our ancestors. We in the motherfucking wind.
In the apocalyptic end times are we seeing in New York? Like, have you seen this? This looks like a scene from a Hollywood disaster movie, but this is actually Coney Island in New York yesterday. I don't know if you've noticed a load of wind wherever you're from, but it's been very windy where I'm from. But nothing like this. Like, people are literally running for cover. Like a massive wall of dust and debris is just rolling off the coast. Like, look at the size of it. People will still say that this is natural. Like, just out of nowhere, the sky turns black, debris is flying everywhere, people are scrambling out the way. And like I said, it genuinely looks like something straight out of an apocalyptic movie. I've been telling you all for ages, it seems like the world is just...
June 8th, every year, if anybody's in New York and you're in the spiritual community, the Ifa community, June 7th or June 8th, for every year, they go in all white to Coney Island and they do the ritual to the ancestors on Brighton Beach. How many people have ever been there? Right before a Doom Day, which is in Philadelphia every year, they go and they put offerings in the ocean, right? And then this happens, okay? This shit never happened in Coney Island's history, I don't think. The fucking sky went black, it opened up, and the sandstorm from hell came and washed these people up. They didn't have no warnings on the radio. They didn't have no warnings for the weather that day. It came out of nowhere. And they said it felt like spirits was hitting them.
Having loads of extreme weather events, and it's becoming a lot more common. Like, I don't know about you, but it just feels like every week we're seeing another video from somewhere in the world that just makes you stop and think, hang on, like, does this look normal? Like, whether it's a storm, a flood, or a heat wave, or a wildfire, like, whatever it may be, they just seem to be getting more excessive every time. Like, apparently this is the new normal, you know, apparently this is just a normal weather event. But one thing's for sure, like, if you'd have shown me this 10 years ago, I'd have sworn that this is a disaster movie. In my opinion, it seems like Trump's showing off his new weaponry to the whole world, whilst the whole world's eyes are on America for the World Cup. Hey, you know, what do I know? I'm just a random crazy conspiracist, and I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
The skies over New York City turned red last night. Bright red. Now, if you remember, the same thing happened a few days ago over Venezuela, right after they had 2 major earthquakes. Now, I'm not saying it's connected or something's going to happen in New York, but it's definitely strange. This is New York. This is New York City. Last night. This isn't some AI-made video. This is an actual real video of the city. This is posted all over the place. I'm not sure if some news station took this or what, but you can find this video everywhere of New York City's red sky last night. To me, in life, when strange things happen, real strange things, like the skies over a major city turning red, right after the same thing happened in another country, which, by the way, had just had 2 major earthquakes, it doesn't seem like a coincidence to me. I mean, it could be, and it probably is, but it just seems odd. Let me know what you think about this situation in New York City last night. If it's just a coincidence that the skies look just like they did in Venezuela.
So look at the poetry of everything. Like, let's just look at the poetics of it all, ladies and gentlemen. On the 250th anniversary, right? The Empire State, really the capital of the world, right? That is a reflection of the crash capitalism, you know, robber barons, the consolidation of wealth and power, right? There's no better place to highlight some crazy shit like that other than DC. But DC is already toe up, and DC got toe up by a damn hurricane / tornado yesterday too. All of them white folks ran inside of the African American Museum. How about that? You know what I'm talking about? The shit that Oprah built. And you know, red skies. I'm talking about, as you can see, blood red skies. You know what I mean? It's really just the great divine speaking through signs. Like, this is a very, very, very bloody place.
Now up to 15 mass shootings in the United States of America in just the past 24 hours on 4th of July and the 5th of July. This weekend, 15 mass shootings. This is from the Gun Violence Archive. I'm going to run through them quickly because there are so many of them. You may not hear all of them on the news, but you need to hear it because we cannot normalize this. In Gary, Indiana, 6 people were injured. In Grand Rapids, Michigan, 4 people were injured. In Pennsylvania, 4 people were injured. In Fort Wayne, Indiana, 1 person killed, 8 injured. Pensacola, Florida, 5 injured, 1 killed. Chicago, Illinois, 7 injured. Radcliffe, Kentucky, 3 injured, 1 killed. Compton, California, 3 injured, 2 killed. Mount Clemens, Michigan, 5 injured. San Antonio, Texas, 3 injured, 2 killed. Hilton had 7 injured. San Bernardino, 4 injured. Brooklyn, 8 injured. Centerville, Mississippi, 7 injured, 2 killed. Dayton, Ohio, 4 injured. This is the reality of the United States of America. Spread the word. I'll have more updates for you soon. Follow along, stay updated on all the news you need to know about. There'll be more to come.
A bloody 4th of July. And it's it's just a reflection of this nation and its 250 years. What are you celebrating? 250 nooses? 250 treaties that you broke? 250 lynchings? What's the celebration about? You can't celebrate something if you don't atone for something first. You can't put lipstick on a pig and tell me that's a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? You cannot do that. So even with America hosting these games, as you can see, you know, these games are quote unquote crooked. I'm watching the games and I'm like, this is some crooked shit. The FIFA thing is a farce. That's European supremacy all over again. That's European that's colonialism. These are some crazy ball heads, y'all. Yo, check this out. Let me turn that sound off. I don't know if that shit copywritten and whatnot. But clearly, right, there goes Messi at the wall, and there goes the president at the wall. They say he's related to Bibi, the president of Argentina. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Right? They was all grown up on Nazi sleds. Okay? So it's like they beating up on the players. They did that with France too. When France was playing one of them teams, they was just beating the shit out of them. I think it was Paraguay, right? They was wilding on my dude, you know, wild kicking him in the shin. You feel me? These people right here, the FIFA bosses, they crime bosses, they look like mafia bosses. They were celebrating like they won at the end when Messi and them won. They were celebrating like they did not want these black people from Cape Verde to embarrass these quote unquote. They were scared to death. Look at their faces. I need to see their faces break in this tournament. I need to see these Argentinian face break. I need the whole crowd to cry. That's what I need. Cheating their arses off. So it's like all of them. Remember, this is the Epstein class that we're looking at. All of them. Right? Every single one of them. Crooked. This is a system. Yeah, Dr. Francis Cress Welson's symbolism of the soccer, of all of the ball sports, all of the sports dealing with the balls and whatnot. She broke all of that down. You know, this is a white ball, by the way. So they were cheating in front of the whole world. And this is what they always do. They cheat right in front of you. They do shit and tell you didn't see what we did. You was lying. You know what I mean? They gaslight.
250 years old. At the same time, the Justice Department flat out refused a federal judge's order to hand over the Epstein files. Here's what happened. Congress passed the Epstein File Transparency Act. The deadline was December 19th, and they were supposed to release everything. Judge Emmett Sullivan ruled that DOJ likely broke the law and ordered them to comply and release all the file. I have a full article on Substack with more context about this one. Link in bio, or you can visit grumpychineseguy.com. Thank you for all the support. I really appreciate it. The DOJ's answer was this. They strongly disagree and they want 60 more days, either accepting their reasoning or drop it. They say they reviewed 6 million pages. There are redacted emails that were not unredacted, such as emails about torture videos about girls as young as 14. What are they trying to hide? Who's on that other end of the files? Also, the DOJ also claimed that they lost the 2007 draft indictment, the page that lists 4 conspirators. They lost 1 page. With all the delays from the DOJ, their reason is protecting the victims. It's all just excuse. They just want to protect the powerful, you know. Those are the people actually getting protected with all the delays. By the way, I'm still waiting for Congressman Thomas Massey to read all the names out loud on the floor of the Congress. He'll be gone in January, so let's hope he does it as soon as possible. For 250 years, with all the accomplishment, the moon landing, the nuclear bombs, all that, and you still cannot arrest few pedophiles. The swamp is deep, guys. All right, take care.
All right, take care. Let's go. So they will have us believe, because of, once again, programming, and because of the lies that Hollywood told us, along with those textbooks from Robert Maxwell, that none of us ever fought back, that we were scary, that we were subservient. They gave us, in high school and all of that, they gave us the Martin Luther King story and narrative, and I don't know how slick they was with it, but they was able to tie Chicken George and Fiddler, right, and all of and Kunta Kinte. For some reason, they was able to juxtapose their subservient, them getting buck broken and all of that, with Martin Luther King and the civil rights. We didn't really see nothing in between. We just saw Chicken George and then MLK. And it's like, that's what we grew up thinking our people were on, all of our people. We was like, these niggas was Chicken George the whole time. These niggas was chickening about anything George. That's how they had us feeling, like all of us always turned the cheek. We was always getting attacked and running away. We was always getting, they was always setting it off on us. That's how they had our people thinking facts. But they did not want us to know that we was fighting back. They did not want us to know about the Deacons of Defense. They did not want us to know about no type of paramilitary action. They did not want us to know that our people was walking them people down.
In black armies that defeated the original KKK.
They don't want you to know that the original Ku Klux Klan didn't disappear because America found a moral conscience. It was crushed militarily on the ground by organized black armies. The system loves to condition us to believe that after the Civil War, newly freed black Americans were just passive, weeping victims waiting for white politicians to save them. But the authentic military registries uncover an explosive, unfiltered history of raw, organized black power. By 1870, the South Carolina State Militia was majority black. Men who had been legally categorized as property just 5 years prior were now wearing pristine uniforms, holding state-issued rifles, and carrying the legal authority to arrest white terrorists. When local Klansmen murdered a militia member in York County, a fearless former slave turned military commander named Captain Jim Williams mobilized 600 disciplined armed black men. They executed a clinical silent midnight march, surrounded a luxury plantation fortress, and forced 11 elite white terrorists down onto their knees at gunpoint without firing a single civilian shot. Wherever these black fortresses actively patrolled, Klan violence plummeted by an undisputed 90%. The original Klan didn't retreat. They were defeated by black men who built their own blueprints for self-defense. If you believe this hidden history of raw resistance needs to be taught in every school, hit that like button, share this truth, and follow for more history they tried to bury in the shadows.
So with all of these stories that have been coming out, and everybody, you know the power of the AI, it's time that those stories are told by people who have no strings attached to them. That could not happen years ago. That could only happen now. The fact that we probably didn't see that shit 20 and 10 and whatever, it was very difficult for distribution. It was very difficult to get funding. It was very difficult to basically get inside of a studio and get your thing screened. Now all of that shit is obliterated. We got to get on the movies. I just had a session today with Original Black God on Summer School. I don't know if y'all know that we do 2 or 3 hours every day inside of our school community, where we have our alumni, our students from Imaginarium, 72 Claws, and the Get Money / Get Bill community. And we basically build in real time. Some of my alumni is dangerous with it. I'm talking about scary with it. They building video games. The vision of fantasy complex industry has come to life. They doing cartoons, video games. We got animators. We got short films and everything. So Original Black God was in the building with us for about 2 hours today, breaking that shit all the way down, giving us high level sauce, super duper sauce, right? And I'm like, yo, I'm telling the KTLians, and I'm like, yo, we need to fund Original Black God, and we need to put his stuff in theaters. Like, what are we waiting for? And then I went on a super duper rant about how this community, not just this community, the financial community, right? All of them dudes, the community of people that say that they got 800 credit. You know what I mean? The financial community we balling. All of them is fake. Not that they're fake. They just don't have, if they have financial education, they don't have cultural education. They don't know what it takes to get this shit done. Because if they did, they would be having movies in the theaters right now. They would be funding shit. They would be the executive producers on some groundbreaking films. I don't give a fuck what level of woke you're at, my nigga. I don't care what level of woke you're at. If you don't know what it takes to turn this shit around, if you don't know what it takes to change things other than changing clothes, nigga, y'all are running around wearing, you know what I mean? I don't even want to get into it, because I could go off the deep end on these guys and the gals. Where's the gals with the 800 credit? Where's the grant writers at? What are y'all doing? What do y'all do when y'all get y'all grants? What are y'all building? What are y'all making? Like, what are you disrupting? What are you disrupting? Because I don't see a damn thing happening. I don't see nothing happening. I see the grassroots doing what they always been doing, carrying 44 million people on their fucking shoulders. That's what I keep seeing. I see the grassroots growing like weeds, right? And strangling these, and strangling the dandelions of white fragility. I don't see nothing else. Nobody is putting in no pain. Nobody is making no change. They out there throwing everything at the Louis Vuitton store, nigga. They throwing everything at the Porsche dealership. They throwing everything at Dr. Miami, nigga. That's all they doing. They getting BBLs and CDLs. Nothing else. It's a farce. It's a false. It's not real. They wasting my time. I'm going to Invest Fest and calling all them niggas out. The mega churches, with all of the fleecing that they do every Sunday, where's your films at? Fuck the Medea shit. Where's your films? At least telling the story about the deacons of defense. We not asking you to give us Kunta Kinte, comes to Manhattan and shit like that. We not asking you to give us the Mansa Musa epic story, niggas. But you should at least do the Mansa Musa if y'all running around acting like you got it like that. And y'all, all of this new money. Where's the Mansa Musa movie at? God damn it. Nothing revolutionary. Nothing groundbreaking. Nothing bar raising. Not a fucking thing. We're not even a micro drama. The Deacons of Defense was already made. It stars Forrest Whitaker. Okay. You know how many times they made a bunch of shit? You know what I mean? We on power number 6, my nigga. We on power number 6. They got like 10 movies about Rich Porter, my nigga. We need different Deacons of Defense. Put the YNs in the movie. We need a Deacons of Defense with Pooh Shiesty and them niggas. You know what I'm saying? We need a Deacon of Defense. We need a bunch of this shit. Like I said, to make a movie right now, you could make a movie with 50 bands. Down from 50 million. You could make a 50 million you could make a movie that looks like it was $50 million budget on 50 bands. You just got to sacrifice. Super duper facts. You got to get all of these greedy niggas. You got to get your money on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Sacrifice. Go get a house somewhere in El Segundo. Hook up some computers. Get 1 million tokens and cook. It goes now. You know how they said with the movie Sinners with Ryan Coogler, they just patted him on his head and was like, you could get your rights to your movies in 25 years. And nigga, I want it in 25 minutes. What are you talking about? Are you fucking dumb? 25 years? That ain't, nigga, what? This country not even gonna be here for 25 years. Are you dumb? I'm not doing that. I need it now. I need everything. So now we're in a position where we could get everything straight to distributor. No middleman, nobody in my pocket, straight to distributor. Fuck the Cannes Film Festival. I don't need it. You could take these movies on a road, Chitlin Circuit. You could take these movies on a road, Chitlin Circuit. Free jollof rice, nigga. We go to Africa. You come to the movie, you get free rice. We gotta market. We gotta do something. Young Miami at the premiere of the movie, doing her. If we not gonna cancel her, we gotta use her. Direct to consumer, dead ass. They got Mansa Musa in the works. I'm good on that. You know how many years I've been hearing that? There's supposed to be a Taharka movie, not Bay, the Taharka African King movie. There's going to be an Akhenaten movie. There's going to be a Mansa Musa movie. They were saying that 10 years ago. I'm good. There's supposed to be a Moors movie with Michael J. White. Remember that? Now that I got a little more knowledge on, and I go back and look at the trailer, he shot that shit on the iPhone, the Michael J. White shit. He shot that shit at somebody's house. That shit trash when I looked at it. You know what I'm talking about? That shit looked like trash. It was hype 10 years ago when I saw it. But now when I look back at it with a different eye, I'm like, that shit was in somebody's backyard. They did a BMF miniseries. They did a goddamn Power 1, 2, 3, Book 1, 4, 5, 6. They did that horrible ass TV show Empire with Lucius. Fuck out of here. We don't need to wait for nobody. We don't need to wait for nobody. We got what we need right now, bro. That's what I'm saying. Because the film is going to break the spell. They could put niggas under so many spells with these films. We don't know how powerful these films are. Neurocinematics is real. It's real. People are literally getting put under spells with these films. Cinema's real. So we gotta cook. Let me let my girl, man. Y'all give this girl a hug when y'all see her. Cause she be going off. Give sis a hug if you ever see her. For real.
I'm gonna be real. I want to have a real conversation, right? Whenever people talk about the artists who make these toxic ass songs, right? Y'all love, and even I have gotten up here and say, oh, well, they don't make music for kids, right? Why do y'all even make this music for the adults? Why would you want to give any toxic messages to your people, to your community, when a message gets in our brains and our brain starts to tell us the things to do based off that message? Why? Why is it okay to say things to your people that will not lead us in the correct way? Why is it okay to give your people messages that would not lead them closer to God, but you're leading them closer to white supremacy? What is the fucking problem? I have never met a group of people that literally get up here, argue, and fight against growth and development. Anything that anybody is saying against Young Miami is for growth and development, and y'all are arguing against that. Y'all are being disrespectful against that. Black women want to be whores. Black men want to be drug dealers. Y'all want to deal with these women because y'all don't want growth. I don't understand the combativeness. I don't understand how anybody can have an issue with anything that anybody is saying against her when it would help us grow and become better. Y'all want to stay fucking mediocre. Y'all don't want to get closer to God. Y'all don't want to get closer to the God energy that black people are trying to have. Y'all want to stay enslaved mentally. Y'all want to stay on a slave ship. Awaken black people. These are the people that we're going to have to leave behind. We identify them and we let the world know who they are, and then we move accordingly. There's no point of trying to get these other black folks on the boat when they don't want to come on the boat. You got to leave some people. Leave these motherfuckers where they're at. If y'all want to stay hood boogers, stay hood boogers. If you don't want to grow, if you don't want, that's okay. We are not going to force y'all. But we're going to verbalize it, and then by your conversation, we going to know if you should be accepted or not. So be very careful. Be very careful about what you say, because you are going to be disowned by the community, the real community that really want to grow, that really want to develop. No grown woman should be a scammer. No grown woman should be dating a black man who has a scam. If your black man has a scam, that means that y'all are going in the wrong direction on the planet. Go with God and you won't have to scam. Have a good night.
I love my sis. She's so passionate. But that's some real talk. Why mediocre? Why settle in mediocrity? Do you know how retarded you look dancing to that song around anybody with some type of class? Do you know how mediocre we look when that song comes on and niggas start twerking in a restaurant around people? Do you know how mediocre we don't look? Like, fuck having fun. That's not just fun. That's buffoonery at some point. We don't even know how to hide our dysfunction. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was growing up, you had to listen to Millie Jackson when the children were asleep. You had to listen to the Richard Pryor albums when the kids were asleep in the living room. And if you came in the living room, you could get your ass whipped. We wasn't driving around blasting Millie Jackson out the car. We didn't have the speakers out the window and let everybody know that we was dealing with some type of adult theme type shit. We kept that shit within the confines of our homes. Niggas is proud to be ignorant, and I don't like that for us. It's not a good look. And going back to the conversation that I just got on before we played this, there are 3 movies right now crushing the box office, 3 of them, right? And they all come from YouTube. Backrooms, Obsession, and then there's another one that dropped and whatnot. They are taking Hollywood to the cleaners. So these movies and whatnot started on YouTube. They started on YouTube, right? So nobody can tell me that a movie can't be made, especially when we have content on YouTube right now. And we could pick out, yo, what do we want to develop into a film? What do we want to develop into a series and whatnot? What do we want to basically turn into something that is a propriety? When are we going to get this shit together? It is a endless, I promise you, it's a sad ass loop going on. It's a fucking loop. It's a Groundhog Day. It's a loop. We are looping. We're not breaking the loop. Too many people is comfortable in their niggatry. They're not breaking the loop. They play woke. They play deep and everything. In a minute this show go off, they back to being knuckle draggers or hood boogers, like she said. We're not catering to that frequency. You know what I'm saying? You could still be funny. You could still be witty. You could still be you could still be in your bag. You could still get fly and not be a knuckle dragger and not be a hood booger and not basically be a fucking a buffoon and whatnot. You could do all of these things and still be a sophisticated savage. These niggas is wearing tuxedos to go and listen to Young Jeezy. We don't have no parental guidance. We don't have no elder statesmen. We don't have no respect for no elders. The era of the master teacher is damn near over with. It's gone. You know what I'm talking about? The era of the master teachers is damn near gone. It's on his last legs. There's just a few Mohicans left. And nobody can tell these young kids a goddamn thing. Because the hate you gave little infants fucks everyone. I was watching an interview last night. I don't know how I came across it, but I like Big Bank, right? Because I used to live in Atlanta in 2012, and we had a business on Edgewood, right? Not where we was at with the bookstore. I had a business on Edgewood. I didn't have it. One of my friends who died recently, he had a business, right? And we were on Edgewood, right? Before they had the trolley and everything, before Edgewood turned into like a party thing. This really 2011. So I remember who the hell Big Bank was because Boulevard was right down the block. You understand? This was around a time before Duct Tape Mafia, when it was just really a street thing, and Big Bank's name rang very big, very in that whole area. Big Bank was a big deal. Okay. So to see the evolution of Big Bank right now, I'm like, wow, this shit is crazy. Like he's a major player, and his change is going to change a lot of people just because he's on camera as a changed man. So I came across, he was interviewing Cartel Bo, who's a rapper out of Houston and whatnot, who is, an outspoken dude, Bob Blase Bloom and whatnot. He got a lot of shit with him, right? But what I realized in the interview and what I picked up in the first 30 to 45 minutes in the interview was that this man is completely traumatized by his mother. You understand? His mother, he hates his mother, and his mother hates him, right? He was speaking about situations where his moms had him in the garage tied up, right? Tied up with dogs. She had him in the garage with the lights out, right? With dogs basically attack, like on leashes and whatnot, with men beating him with extension cords. Now, somebody would hear some shit like that and be like, no way, it had to be some shit that he did. He said, yeah, I broke some shit in the house and I was acting up, but my mother never really liked me. I was raised by my grandmother and she was choosing men over me. And the men were abusive because they didn't want no kids, especially no badass kids in the house. And we're assuming and we're under the assumption that this was around maybe a crack era. So hearing his story, it reminded me of thug life. The hate you gave little infants fucks everyone. So many people right now has to deal with thug life, right? There's generations who've given birth to new generations, right? Of thug life, unhealed, right? Trauma. Flowers that did not get watered and never blossomed. Thug life. You know what we dealing with. You understand? There's not enough mushrooms in the world probably that can help some of these people with some of the shit that they've been going through. Some of the shit that they've been holding on. The federal jail system is filled with niggas with face tats and all type of shit. Anger, mommy issues, father issues, 20 bodies, 30 hats, 40 hats. It's becoming unbearable at this point. You understand? It's becoming unbearable at this point. So we're going through a crisis. It's a crisis that a lot of people don't see because there's an undergirding that, people refuse to look at and whatnot. But of course, you already know the scorpion mind. We're able to see into the abyss. You know what I'm saying? We're able to look into murky waters and we're able to see the abyss. So we know what's bubbling underneath that surface. We know we could see the Leviathan. We could see what the hell is in those deep, dark, murky waters and whatnot. We could see the lotus inside of the murky, muddy waters. We're looking at generations of thug life. The hate you gave little infants fucks everyone. Because them girls is running around looking like they mad at the world and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Thug life. Them little kids running around carrying guns bigger than them and whatnot. Thug life. Right? The acronym. Tupac was a poet. Okay? So hate will turn you into many things. It could turn you into a monster, but it could also turn you into a saint if you're able to heal and you're able to get over it. If you're able to get over it, if you're able to do that work, that inner work. And shout out to everybody that's doing that inner work. Shout out to everybody that's doing that shadow work. Shout out to everybody that's healing and glowing up and whatnot. Shout out to everybody that is dealing with the mother issues and the father issues and the abandonment issues and the trauma and the PTSD. All of these things are real. Some of these things turn into alcoholism. Some of these things turn into addictions and whatnot. Some of these things turn into vices. Some of these things turn into proclivities. We are not here to judge. I went through my judgment phases. I went through the judge phase. I'm not there anymore. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to understand, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'll clown the shit out of some things because I gotta laugh to keep from crying. You understand? That might be my outlet. That might be the way that I'm healing. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make fun of shit because God damn it, we only live once. This shit is a traumedy, a tragedy / comedy. You know? I don't want nobody to ever feel personally attacked. I understand all of our plight, bro. It's just that sometimes that shit is so it's so disheartening. It's so debilitating that either you got to make fun of that shit or you got to lash out against it. But what I won't do is I won't normalize it. And what I won't do is I won't turn the other cheek. And what I won't do is I won't speak to it. Yeah, I know sometimes I speak about some things that may be a little brash, maybe a little, especially if I got elders in the building. But to be honest with you, the elders, they roll with it. Like Mama Pill, I don't she don't, you know what I mean? At some point she used to be politically correct. She just got to the point where she's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna say what's on my mind. So there's even a point with the elders. They just be like, nah, fuck that. Say what you gotta say. Why, why embellish? Why put lipstick on it? Just let it out. So I'm being responsible. I'm going on. I'm not the best. I got a lot of healing to do in life. Been through a lot of shit, bro. But what am I doing? I'm being proactive. I'm being proactive. I'm encouraging others to be proactive. It ain't one thing to read a book and to be smart about some shit. Nah, there's work to be done. I'm going to do my little trip. I'm the little medicines and all of these things and whatnot. I'm doing my part. And I'm also arduously, I promise you, arduously working behind the scenes and in front of the camera, putting these lectures together. None of my lectures that I do are hyperbole. They all have to do with revealing the quote unquote roots to our main problems. Not me personally, all of us. The people that I have in my network, if I connect with somebody and I decide that I want to bring them on this platform, they all are solution based. I'm not wasting nobody's time, bro. I'm not clout chasing none of these niggas, bro. I'm not doing none of that. If I tap in with a KTL alumni or if I tap in with somebody that's quote unquote a teacher or a scholar, it's to help the audience. It's to help y'all out because I'll be building with them. And then something in my mind be like, nah, they need to hear this shit. You need to put a show together. You need to connect a topic and you need to bring them on the platform and you need to let them shine. It's not about you. You are the magnet to bring people together so they can heal. That's why I got brother Heru Ofari Ata every Monday and every Wednesday, 9 a.m. The fuck? If y'all know anything about me, I'm not no 9 a.m. That blue pill is the early morning. I'm a vampire. 9 a.m. You know what I'm talking about? I'm up and at it. Mondays and Wednesdays, fam. This tomorrow. And it's midnight right now. So it's like, I'm like, yo, I need you to help my people with wealth. I need you to help my people with health. I got 2 strikes on my channel just talking about health, bro. 2 strikes on my channel, bro. So it's like I'm sacrificing a lot. You know what I mean? I'm doing lectures. I'm bringing people together. I'm like, yo, let's teach the people about the crypto, Chicago crypto. Let's teach the people about gold and silver. Let's teach the people about stocks and bonds. Let's teach the people about AI. This ain't no get rich type shit. This is how can I help? How can I help improve somebody's life? How can I get a father popping again so his children and the baby mamas love him again? See some type of, because you are nothing in the eyes of these women if you're not bringing something to the goddamn table, bro. You are nothing. I have so many men that I've seen and that I know and that I cry for sometimes because I see these men break down because they feel like they are unappreciated and they get treated like shit. Women too, single mothers, married women, my heart bleeds for everybody in a sense. But I'm like, yo, let my brothers shine. They talk so crazy about us. They talk so crazy about us. They drag us. They defecate all over our names. You know what I mean? We're nothing if you ask the right person. Oh, they're nothing. They mean nothing. They contribute nothing. This Gloria Steinem effect. And then when I hear men talking about the women, that shit make me sad. So I'm like, yeah, we need some healing. Ain't enough mushrooms in the world. These children need their fathers. They need their mamas. They need to see their mamas and their fathers getting along. However that is, I don't know. It's like solving a fucking Rubik's Cube because it's not easy. Life be lifing. And what I've seen over the years is the relationships are going through strain. Ever since 2020, a lot of the relationships have gone through the ringers. People growing apart from one another. People not seeing one another the same way. Not like the magnetism is gone type shit. You know what I mean? People just want to be alone. Isolation. You feel me? Then when the whole thing happened with the shots and everything, there was a rift in families and whatnot. People is falling out with family members, falling out with parents, falling out with grandparents, falling out with their favorite aunts and shit like that. It's just mean in these streets. Look, a brother that I know, I don't know him personally, right? But I met the brother. And when I met the brother I felt his power when I met him. Let me get his name and whatnot. I got a text and the brother, he, you know what I mean? It's just a lot going on. It's just a lot going on. And you know, our people, this is not easy. This walk right here, you be thinking that this should, all you got to do is eat vegetables. You know what I mean? Get the shea butter and everything is going to be all right. And that's not how this shit is working. That's not how it works. It's not that simple. You know? So here the brother go, Prince. Let me get his proper name. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Because people be changing their names and whatnot. So I don't want to say the wrong name, but the brother made transition in his sleep, heart attack. You know what I'm saying? Powerful, bro. When I tell you the brother was powerful, powerful. You know? Powerful. And it's like, be a lot of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? It just be a lot of ish going on. And it's like, we just got to know these things. We have to be aware of the preciousness of the times that we're in. We don't have no time to waste, man. No time to waste at all. Every minute should count. Every minute should count. You don't got no time to even hold grudges. Let it go. Let it go. The brother, one of my brothers sent me a text yesterday, and it was at the right time because my heart was going through some shit. And then when the brother told me about the news with this brother, he told me, right? He said that he felt compelled to share with me. He said, make sure your heart is light as a feather. And my heart was heavy at that moment. And he said, make sure that your heart is as light as a feather. And when he said that shit, it really struck me and it really hit me. You know? And I was like, damn, I needed that, bro. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Like, I appreciate that because you don't even know. You know what I mean? And it helped put me in a better position. It helped, you know, it helped put me back into a mind state like, yeah, make sure your heart is as light as a feather, fam. Stop carrying pain and agony and strife and stress and don't hold no grudges type shit. You know what I'm saying? We could get mad deep with shit. We could get all deep with everything. But really, the thing that's taking down the people that I know is not deep. It's not like that the aliens is not taking my people down. You know what I'm saying? The Patriotic Front is not taking my people down. The Republicans are not taking my people down. You know? The Anunnaki, they not sliding. Last time I checked, that's not them doing it. The Anunnaki is not sliding and gliding. That's not what's taking the people down. Niggas is going down for stress. They're going down for pain. Bad thoughts. Holding on to the fact that they didn't hold their children for years. And then some people hate the parents or their ex-spouses and whatnot, holding on to, and then it turns into cancer. It shuts your organs down. So we don't need we don't need the super duper high level information if people are succumbing to simple shit like that. That's not the conversation that we should be having right now. That's what I'm saying. I do feel like people get lost in a lot of that superbole, the hyperboles, because that's another form of escapism. You know? They get lost in fantasy world and whatnot because they don't want to deal with the real world. They want to get away from their pain. It turns into fibroids. It turns into lymph nodes, and it turns into all type of things. They get caught up in the liver and the lungs and the kidneys. And yeah, we got to let things go. One of the things that I learned when I was going through some shit years ago is detachment. And I literally did not know how to detach. But I had to learn it in order to keep myself from not waking up. You know what I mean? Because I went through a situation where it felt like I had a anchor on my heart. My shit felt like it was broken in 1,000 pieces. Dead ass. Couldn't even sleep. Felt like I got hit in the heart with an arrow. So the only way I was able to heal is I had to let some shit go. And that was the hardest thing ever. And we got to learn how to detach. To America, the USA is 250 years. You feel me? We are drenched in blood like DMX on that album cover. Let it go. Detach from that shit. Let that trauma go. Let it go. You know what I'm saying? Let it go. Because it's killing us. It's weighing us down. It's weighing us down. So many people, I'm sitting back and I'm watching a lot of the new people, like on the TikTokers, and you know, like Shorty that was just on, and she was talking about Young Miami. You could tell that she's just in the beginning stages of her consciousness, you know, like Chocolate Godiva, you know, the people that are in their beginning phases and whatnot, right? And like people on TikTok and some of the IG people on my scroll and whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, they're going through their angry phase. They're going through their trauma bonding phase. You know what I mean? They're going through that phase where it's like you're angry and shit. You're mad, and you know you're getting enraged. You're crashing out, right? You're crashing out. You can see the veins in the neck popping out, type shit. You know what I mean? You know, people are like so fucking enraged they get cross-eyed type shit. Like, no, you got to get past that. There's phases to this thing. That's a phase right there, but you need to pull past that. Because once you get pulled past that, you start to laugh again. You know, you really start to laugh again, and this shit becomes funny to you because you have to be able to laugh at it. And I don't mean laugh at it like it's a joke. And I don't mean to laugh at nobody suffering and whatnot. I mean to laugh at that shit like you smile in the face of adversity. That's what they taught us. They said that was the real power. It's not about getting hit. It's how the fuck do you get up? Because we all gonna get hit. I was teaching my son the other day, right? So I'm teaching him, fighting rules and everything. And he got his hands up and everything. And then I was like, yo, you're gonna get hit in the face. All of that blocking and shit like that, that's cool and everything, but I'm finna punch you in the face. And he was like, why? And I was like, because I want you to prepare. I want you to get used to getting hit. And then I hit him with when I hit you, you're gonna get stronger. He's 6 years old, so I'm programming him. He said, he said, okay. So then when I hit him, I didn't hit him in the face. I just, like we boxing, slap boxing and everything. When I hit him, instead of him acting like it hurted, he's acting like it's making him stronger. So an hour later, after him not turning down, turning all the way up, you know what I mean? I'm like, it's time to go to sleep, little man. He's still hitting me and shit. He's like, I'm getting stronger. I'm getting stronger. And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, look at what I done started. But hey, it is what it is. Like, yeah, I got to get him used to getting hit. You know what I mean? He could be Floyd Mayweather in the ring if he decides that he wants to be a boxer and everything. That's cute and everything. But he's an Aries. He is an Aries. But I got to get him used to getting hit, though. And then I want to program in his mind that when you get hit, you get stronger. You don't get weaker. You get more powerful. If I could leave, because that's my son. So if I could leave my son with any type of game, it would be prepared to be hit, especially as a black man. Don't cower to a hit. Welcome that shit. You know what I mean? Eat that punch and then come back even stronger. And he's an Aries. So, he has that tenacity already built in. His hand to eye coordination, he came with that shit. It's pre-programmed into him. You know what I mean? If it was up to me, his ass would be boxing right now. But you know how the mothers are. They don't want to see their sons getting hit. So he's in piano class. But when he's ready, he'll get hit. He'll be out there exercising that type of energy and whatnot. He'll get into combat. But I respect it. I respect it. But I want to raise, these children are like warriors, but I also want to raise them. He's also a gardener, he's also a gardener. He's getting hype. He planted some seeds the other day. We got the flower pots and everything on the front porch. You know what I'm saying? He's watering the pots. He's very excited, enthusiastic about seeing those green buds come out the dirt. He is elated. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he'll be a gardener and he'll get into his martial arts boxing bag because he got that type of energy, and I want him to put it somewhere other than, beating me up. But yeah, teaching them how to get hit, you get more powerful. But yeah, I just had to share that. It was on my heart, right? And I say all of that because, once again, I've shared with y'all that in order for us to really get back to homeostasis as a community, we got to bring the knowledge back. We got to bring the knowledge of self. I don't care how corny people might act like it is. Oh man, that shit is, you want to be Sharif and whatnot. What you trying to kick knowledge? Yes, I am. Because I come from the people that I was raised by. They was dropping knowledge. Check it out.
Say that we are people with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture. We got the power to build over the planet Earth because we are the youth. We got the equality because we deal equal with our power. We got God seeker, we got God in our mind. We build with God knowledge because we got God in our mind.
If you've listened to hip-hop for any length of time, you've probably heard rappers say things like peace, God, the cipher, knowledge, wisdom, build. For a lot of people, those just sound like cool words, but they come from one of the most influential philosophies in hip-hop history, the 5% Nation. Now here's what's fascinating. I don't think thousands of young black men were drawn to the 5% Nation because of numbers, or because of the supreme alphabet. They were drawn to what those things represented: identity, purpose, knowledge, and self-determination. See, one of the foundational teachings is something called supreme mathematics. Every number represents an idea. 1 is knowledge, 2 is wisdom, 3 is understanding, 4 is culture or freedom, 5 is power, 6 is equality, 7 is God, 8 is build or destroy, 9 is born, 0 is cipher. Now to someone outside, that may sound like simple symbolism, but imagine growing up in the late 1960s and 1970s. Many black communities were navigating the aftermath of segregation, economic disinvestment, unemployment, and limited opportunity. Then someone comes along and tells you, knowledge isn't reserved for professors. Wisdom isn't reserved for preachers. You can study, you can teach, you can build. You can become something greater than your circumstances. Suddenly, the world looks different. The 5% Nation encouraged its members to find meaning in everyday life. Words weren't just words. Numbers weren't just numbers. Conversations became lessons. Life itself became a classroom. And if that sounds familiar, it's because hip-hop works the same way. Double meaning, metaphors, punchlines, layers. A rapper could say one sentence, and depending on what you knew, it could mean 3 different things. That's why so many legendary artists gravitated toward these teachings. Whether they formally belonged to the 5% Nation or were simply influenced by it, its language became part of hip-hop's DNA. So when you hear somebody say peace, God, or reference the cipher, you're not just hearing slang. You're hearing echoes of a philosophy that gave many young black men a framework for education, identity, and self-worth. And whether you agree with every teaching or not, it's impossible to tell the story of hip-hop without telling the story of the 5% Nation.
So I'm a remnant of that, and I've shared my life. I've shared some of my, my creation myth with the family, and one of my stories is that when I was like 11, maybe 12, in my neighborhood in Flatbush on Cortelia Road, we had OGs, right? We had I'm born in 75, so I'm talking like 85-ish and everything. This was around the time of the gods and the earths. So the kids that was like 16, 17, and 18, they had all of the, they were like the popular kids. They were God bodies, right? Because they come from that Father Allah, Clarence 13X, you know what I mean? That was the wave in New York City coming around the 80s and everything. And of course, this is the beginning of the golden era of hip hop. And the top rappers were all God body. King Asiatic, nobody equal. That's Big Daddy Kane. King Asiatic, nobody equal. Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. That's KRS-One. Rakim Allah. You know what I mean? That's Eric B. and Rakim. And I could go on for days. It was a bunch of them. But those were the top, those were some of the main figures in the game at that point. And they were all knowledge of self righteous. They you know what I mean? They were street. Remember, we talking street knowledge. We're not talking book knowledge. We're not talking fight. We're not talking, which is it's an admixture. It's very difficult to explain it in layman's terms. It's more of a cultural thing. They was in the streets on Rikers Island. The people that was holding it down, Fruquan, and it was the gods in the earth. When you saw the rise of people move, remember in Belly, the niggas that was moving crack was named Knowledge Born, right? That the gods exported the crack game out of town. That's non-cipher. That's not doing the knowledge, right? That you wouldn't think that would be knowledge, but that's what happened. They helped push the plague. And many people suffered because of that. I feel that there was a price to pay because of the decisions that people made. But this was children in poverty. Right? Doing everything by any means necessary to get out of poverty, because poverty was there. There was poverty back then. We don't see the poverty now, but there was poverty back then. Niggas, the poverty was real. The poverty was real before the crack era. You know what I mean? PE wasn't God body. Professor Griff. I don't know. I can't really say if Chuck D was a God body. I don't think he was. They was from Long Island. I don't think that they was God body, but they was definitely influenced by the God bodies. He gravitated towards Farrakhan and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Remember, Clarence 13X left the Nation of Islam and created the God bodies right down the block. You had Temple 7 on one block, and you could walk 5 minutes or 10 minutes over to the where the God bodies was at on Linux and whatnot. They are aligned. They have an alignment, but they're not the same. Yeah, Flavor Flav. So the S1Ws were doing Nation of Islam FOI drills. So I would say that they were more into the nation, right? But the nation and the nation of God's and earth, you can't really separate the two. So the nation of God's and earth, they were more like, the NOI is clean shaven. You know what I'm saying? They're not growing their beards out. You know what I mean? No face tats, unless that's what they had before they came in. There's a certain decor that they have. And when I looked at the Nation of Gods and Earth, they had a decor as well, but it wasn't as refined as like the nation. Like, just think about you being in an army and whatnot. So the nation would be like the army, like the Navy or the Marines. There's just a certain type of look that they have. There's a certain type of way that they carry themselves. But when it's times to get busy, they're going to get busy. Like, there's no way around that. You know that they're trained killers. But they're not walking around acting like they're going to kill you. You feel me? That's like certain type of Navy SEALs or Marines and whatnot. You know that there's something behind that stare and whatnot. And you know what I mean? You're going to act, your higher self is going to say, you really want this shit, son? You see this nigga? Do you really want it? I don't know if you want it, because you're gonna be in the upper room if you fuck up. If you do the, you know what I mean? That's sort of like that, So, but that's the foundation. And I'm not saying that we got to bring back the nations of God's and earth, but something has to come to save the day. There has to be some type of youth-driven movement, because it was a youth-driven movement, King Son said some of the Wu-Tang was dirty God bodies. Like, you got dirty Moors. Yeah, that could be truth to that. There could be truth to that, King Son, he was a bully. From what I heard, just icing them niggas, they was bullies. Because the Nation of Gods and Earth was robbing niggas too. They was bullying. That's another thing. They would rob you. If you wasn't one of them, you could get robbed by them. I'm not saying all of them, but they definitely had groups of God bodies that was out there catching niggas. Like in my hood, you had Science, you had Infinity, you had Life, you had Prince, you had Space. These niggas were thugs with knowledge. They was on the trains wilding. You know what I mean? They was catching Vicks and everything. They was out there robbing white folk. They was digging pockets. They was snatching chains. Like, they were on the land doing whatever it took to eat off of the land. And their mentality that they were giving us was that the black man is God, and we are in the wilderness of North Mexum, and these are the things that we do to survive. So niggas was like, word, I'm with it. You see the programming? You know what I'm saying? You see how the programming worked? They programmed us at a young age. The same way that the gang members are programming high schoolers and junior high schoolers with the drill and everything, we were programmed the same way. That's why I be saying, I understand what's happening. I get it. I don't condone it, but I understand it because I was in it, Let's continue.
Saxophones, man. Hello? What's going on, Mitch the bitch? I know you're dead. And if you're not dead, you're close to it. Life support, barely breathing, headed to the lower room. Hell is hot and I hope you're dressed cold, but that's the most iniquitous shit about it, is they have to weaken that burns you until August 3rd because they don't want to have an election. So they gonna fake like this man is alive for the next 3 weeks. How they gonna do that? I don't really know, but I feel like we should be moving, cool, and vibing, sliding right to this man hospital and be like, hey, yo, we just wanna see a sign of life, because if there is no sign of life, things a little bit weirder is that your wife immediately went right back over to China as soon as you got caught having to get CPR. And we don't know what type of CPR was. They found you on the ground, falling like, can't get up. But not really, you had a fucking heart attack. So who knows how much oxygen has been lost for your brain. Most likely, you're just plugged in right now. You're not really alive. And in Kentucky, you're really not alive. They consider that dead. So we should be having elections in Kentucky. He's Thomas Massey could slide in and cut like Parasite, but yeah, here to save the day. And you know him, that means the Epstein files are gonna be pressured again, and our greatest liability has a better chance of finally getting cut the fuck off. It's trying not to say shit, but it's like, we seen you can't even walk no more. Slip, fall, turn into dust. You're dead, son. What's going on? Gone. I feel like this is blatantly not following the law. But I mean, that's just how Mitch McConnell would want it too. Because I mean, this guy's a shitty human being. So I know he'd be like, man, if I'm gonna go out, make sure I'm dead on my way out. Speaking of our greatest liability, once again, it should be known that they were plotting on killing both negotiators. Hello, that doesn't seem like somebody that's their greatest ally would do, especially when we're at war. And that is on top of them planning things in the White House and planning things on our Secret Service to spy on us. At some point in time, I think the enemy is over there. Reporting iniquitous news, look who is leading for Prime Minister. Ben fucking Guyver. The literal spawn from hell, Satan himself. The guy that wears a noose pin and had a noose cake. And you're going to tell me that that civilian population over there don't have a couple problems? I'm just saying. July 4th, we, had a couple traitors. Yesterday, the enemy gathered mass in one place. Opportunity lost. A funeral? He wanted us to bomb a funeral. Do you understand the type of sick fuck you have to be to bomb a funeral? And they all freaking out because people burning a stupid-ass flag. On 4th of July, they should go to prison. It's no different from setting an American flag ablaze. What? It's very different. What are you talking about? You're setting a flag on fire of genocidal maniacs. It seems like a good thing. Also, the puppet got their new playbook that anti-Semitism is turning them into a Zionist, which, I mean, that sounds like one of the stupidest fucking takes. I'm so confused what their, little team huddles are, because they're really all very dumb.
Here's the quickest way to turn Claude Code into...
The sky's over. Google says their quantum chip.
Hold on.
In the apocalyptic end.
Where's chocolate at? So, y'all know about the funeral that took place yesterday in Iran while America was doing their 1-2 thing, right? There was a funeral that broke world records. Okay, check this shit out.
This funeral that is happening in Iran right now for Ali Khamenei is one of the greatest things that the world has ever seen. This will have close to 20 million people. And by close, I don't mean a little less. It could definitely be a little bit more or a lot more. This is the largest funeral that has ever happened in the history of the world. It's going to span a week. It's going to go through 2 countries. They're even going to go into parts of Iraq. Okay? And while this is happening, Trump is over in America with his big 250th celebration, which has been catastrophic since the beginning. And he's arguing about what his crowd size was at his latest speech on the 4th of July. He's saying, now there were 150,000 people there, which of course there were not. But there are 20 million people in Iran celebrating the life and memorializing the life of the supreme leader. This is amazing, man. This is like world history happening right now. And even Trump noticed it, and he's made comments now. He said, he's like, I didn't know that many people liked him. What an idiot. Listen, speaking of Iran, I am on my way to Iran. I'm planning a trip to Iran. I want to show you this firsthand. So please go to the link in the bio. Support me by buying my books. My latest book is called Understanding Islam. An agnostic atheist who's living in the Middle East shares his perspective. So it's a unique perspective on Islam, but I think you're going to like it. And this is what enables me to get to Iran. So please support if you can do that so I can get there. I appreciate y'all.
The most haunting image from Tehran isn't the massive sea of black-clad mourners or the towering state architecture. It's the tiny, flag-draped coffin of a 14-month-old child sitting directly at the center of global geopolitical friction. While international media fixates on the sweeping political implications of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's massive state funeral, thousands of crowds inside the Grand Mosalla are weeping over the smallest casket on the stage. His baby granddaughter, Zara Mohammadi, called Payegani, killed alongside him in the opening strikes of the war. In the ruthless theater of sovereign power, the regime is intentionally broadcasting this raw, human devastation to the world. They are converting an unimaginable family tragedy into an unyielding, psychological weapon of resistance, transforming a quiet family burial into a permanent symbol of defiance against the West. Welcome to the Unseen Market.
I want you to believe that Iran, a nation of 90 million plus people, was a nation that was against their leader. But with images and videos circulating all over the internet right now in the last few days, we have all been able to see that a funeral procession that's the largest in human history with over 35 million people.
So then, when you talk about the storms that are hitting America on its fucking anniversary, right? On the same time that 30 million people are mourning a sorrow. He's the supreme leader. He's their spiritual leader. You got to understand that this shit is getting hit by spiritual warfare. Okay? The sky's turning red over New York. That's not happenstance. The shit coming off of Coney Island, that's not happenstance. Trump and them getting chased by the weather, that's not happenstance. All of that shit, to me, when you talk like these are not just simply religious people. They're like spiritual people as well. He was the mystical spiritual leader. He's the supreme spiritual leader. He's not just a fucking leader. He's the spiritual leader. Okay, so understand some of the things that are taking place that they'll never talk about inside of Western media. Talk about it.
In attendance cannot be for a person who was hated, rather for a person who was loved and revered. And this goes to show you about the spectacle of what a Shia is and what a Sayyid is. He is not a normal person. This is the great grandson of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is a direct descendant of Imam Ali and Fatima az-Zahra alayhi salam. And if you don't know who those personalities are, I suggest you go and you educate yourself a little bit. To know that a man like this was martyred, which is the ultimate success in Shia Islam, to attain the highest elevation of death is martyrdom. And he attained it at 86 years old, all while never submitting and bowing down to empires and tyrants. So if anybody is fooled, America got fooled, and not only on their 250th anniversary of independence, but the person they killed brought 35 million people to attend his funeral.
That's crazy.
Beautiful.
That shit make the Knicks parade look crazy. Yo, that's crazy. 35 million at your repass? What we talking about, fam? So this ain't the first time it happened, right? They go crazy over there when you kill their lead. Check this shit out. That was my guy right there, Ayatollah Khomeini from the Iron Sheik days. Yeah, that was my guy. I rocked. Yeah, when we was down with WrestleMania and shit like that, we used to fuck with this nigga. No, he wasn't a political leader. He's the supreme leader. Not the political leader. They got a he's not politics. He's spiritual leader. He's the supreme leader. And we're not talking about the clothing line. He's a supreme leader. Right? It's like a pope. It's like the pope. I didn't see him come out for the Pope like that. You know, maybe I wasn't paying attention. I ain't see him come out for Pope Francis.
To the sport of football.
Hold on, we'll get to you in a minute. Let's continue. So, while that was happening, this was happening. This is Virginia Beach, America. This is New York right now. So not only did they get the red skies, New York is flooded. That's New York. I'm glad I stayed my ass home in Atlanta. Something told me, sit your ass down. You know, that's New York. Okay. What else was happening?
Iran is the only country in the world. Iran is the only country in the world where the leaders are martyred before the people. A nation where leadership isn't just power, it's sacrifice. Not every country understands this. Some leaders stay behind walls, while others stay where danger lives. In Iran, it's not just the people who face the consequences. Even the highest ranking officers are not untouchable. From commanders to top military minds, many have been targeted, assassinated, and lost in the line of duty. It's a place where rank doesn't guarantee safety, and power doesn't come with protection. A land where leaders like Ali Khamenei symbolize resistance, and where even the strongest stand exposed to the same fate as their people. This isn't just politics. This is reality, where sacrifice reaches the top. Some nations protect their leaders. Others watch their leaders and soldiers fall together. God bless Iran. God bless Africa. God bless humanity. Peace.
Americans have no culture is because most of the things that have become associated with white people were black inventions. White people love vanilla, but did you know that vanilla was actually invented by an enslaved black teenager who was 14 years old? His name was Edmund Albius. He's the person who made vanilla a mass-produced product because he figured out how to rapidly pollinate these plants. Or number two, if you've ever heard of techno music, that was actually invented by black people in Detroit in the 80s, which now has become synonymous with a lot of white people in the US or white Europeans, when actually in reality, this was purely the creation representation of a black person and black people. Or number three, the thing that I think of a lot is how white people have co-opted barbecue. Specifically in California, where I grew up, you will see a lot of barbecue joints that were actually white people's recipes that they stole from black people. It's very much a ripoff of the common Southern home cooking, which, came out of the American South, both during slavery and during the Reconstruction era. So yes, white people don't have any culture, we steal it. And that has historically been the case, and that is why white people are so angry. You know any other inventions created by black people but stolen by white people? Drop them in the comments. Okay, bye!
News: millions flood the streets of Tehran for Khamenei's funeral on America's 250th birthday, stealing the global spotlight while the world watches a massive show of defiance. Massive crowds have packed Tehran for the farewell of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Up to 30 million people are expected over the coming hours, with mourners streaming in and out of the prayer hall in waves. Iranians and visitors from Pakistan, India, Turkey, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and beyond are waving flags and chanting in honor of a leader they seen as a symbol of resistance. Western media spent years claiming Iranians despise their government and leader, that his death would bring celebration. These scenes prove them wrong. This is just the start of a human sea flooding the streets. Iran paired every foreign delegation with sharp, politically targeted Quran verses. Saudi Arabia heard about two armies clashing, one believing, one not. Hezbollah got "you are superior, don't weaken." Hamas was honored for staying faithful to the covenant. Houthis were praised for fighting without faltering. And Turkey was called out for sitting while others strive. It was scripture used as a clear political message. The U.S. tried hard to keep countries away. Secretary Rubio warned embassies that attending would be an unfriendly act, with consequences, and some nations backed off under pressure. But Saudi delegations, Qatar, Oman, Russia, and others still showed up anyway, a direct rejection of the bullying. Trump and Netanyahu thought the February U.S.-Israeli strikes that killed Khamenei would be celebrated. They expected cheers and collapse. Instead, on July 4th, America's 250th birthday, the world is glued to this massive funeral in Tehran while U.S. celebrations get overshadowed. They say this is the biggest funeral in the history of funerals. They wanted a victory. They got millions pouring out in raw defiance, turning what they saw as a knockout blow into one of the biggest displays of unity and resistance in years. Khamenei's legacy isn't fading. It's sparking a new wave of strength. The world is watching, and Iran is standing tall.
My picture of him, I was his photographer for 2 years. This was the very first day that I was working for Donald Trump. This was in 2015, about maybe 4 or 5 months before he officially even ran for president. Now, he's at a convention and they asked him to sign this document. All the speakers signed it. Now, in this document, you'll notice it because this is what's in the rotunda of the Capitol. And in that, it's interesting, it's the preamble to the Bill of Rights. You've probably seen this document before. All the speakers of this copy signed on the edge of it. But where does Donald Trump put his signature? Smack dab in the middle of the document. Now, when you blow it up, what part did Donald Trump put his signature on? This is the part in the joint resolution that talks about military tribunals. This talks about that, and he put his signature right over that. Now, the important thing to remember, this was back in 2015. Kind of makes you think, what in the world's going on? And what did Donald Trump know back then?
Real quick, we're gonna show this clip and end it on the World Cup. We'll circle back around and we'll get to more information tomorrow. But I just want to show you how dirty these people have been playing and how wretched these teams are, especially these Europeans and whatnot. They showed their ass, and they just showing themselves around the world how unfair and how much they have to cheat in order to stay ahead. Shout out to all of the Lions from Africa that lasted and broke barriers and whatnot and got as far as you have gotten. Salute to every single one of those nations. Big up your chest, hold up your head, and definitely keep striving and whatnot. You feel me? But yeah, check it out.
Everyone. So I'm not sure if you saw, but the Paraguay players were absolutely classless, disgraceful, dirty embarrassments to the sport of football during their match against France yesterday. And that's saying a lot because I would never defend France. And if you were to analyze all of the dirty plays by Paraguay, almost all of them were specifically against France's black players. No, really. Practically every filthy play by Paraguay was precisely against the black players. And before you attempt to say that this is just a coincidence, no, it's not. This is a direct reflection of their history of systemic racism against their indigenous and Afro-descendant populations. But aside from all of that, Paraguay has consistently been one of Israel's most steadfast and vocal international allies. This unconditional diplomatic and political alignment is heavily rooted in conservative societal and religious values, as well as deep historical ties that date back to Paraguay's pivotal vote for the 1947 UN partition plan, meaning Paraguay was directly involved in the establishment of the terrorist ethno-state of Israel and has backed them every single step of the way until this very day. Under the administration of President Santiago Peña, this alliance has reached new, unprecedented levels of tangible support. Paraguay was one of the first countries to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital and officially inaugurated its embassy there in December 2024. Paraguay was also the first nation globally to file a brief at the International Court of Justice supporting Israel in the genocide case brought by South Africa. Yes, Paraguay is defending genocide. And Paraguay actively votes against anti-Israel resolutions and voted against an arms embargo on Israel at the United Nations Human Rights Council. Also, Paraguay is one of the very few countries that has designated Palestinian and Lebanese resistance groups as terrorist organizations. So good riddance to Paraguay from the World Cup, as Paraguay is simply a blood-soaked appendage of Israel, and they can quite literally go eat shit.
That part. Yeah, so that being said, yeah, same as Argentina, you know, and then we have England beating Mexico tonight, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, this is interesting. But yeah, man, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you all. If you have not signed up for our quote unquote weekly workshop that we're doing, it is called Get Built, right? And it features the good brother Hitsayu Aku and my good brother Ampu. And we are proactive. We're doing summer school every day on our school, right? 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours. Today we had Original Black God as one of our guest teachers and whatnot. And inside of summer school, we basically are just doing automations. We're building out agentic AI. We're building out AI films and whatnot, video games, Higgsfield, MCP. Y'all better take advantage of all of these opportunities that are going on right now. Don't let nobody lie to you. Higgsfield is the best site on the internet right now when it comes to AI. It's crazy the shit that you could do with it. So yeah, man, drop some money on them. But tap in with us. We doing big things. We doing shit that hasn't been done before. I don't know nobody that's doing this on the internet right now that's actually building. It's people that are talking, but we're building. Shout out to Sister Lakeisha, one of our premier, our KTL, one of our master students or whatnot, building our website. She's doing her thing. I'm telling you. I am telling you, bro. You know what I mean? Very proud of her. Yeah, man. So we just doing what we gotta do. I don't want to even embellish, you know what I'm saying? It's not the time for that. I'm just letting the family know I'm reporting and letting y'all know that outside of YouTube, yeah, we do the YouTube thing, but we doing other things as well. Bigger things than YouTube. You feel me? Bigger things than YouTube. I'm so proud of what we're accomplishing inside of our school community and with these workshops and these boot camps and whatnot. 72 Claws, Imaginarium, y'all really keep me going. You know what I'm saying? And my KTLians, of course, my Know the Ledge crowd, y'all keep me going. I appreciate everybody for the same reason, because y'all appreciate yourselves. All right, I'm going to drop the Cash App because I've been asked in the audience for that. So here you go. You know what I'm saying? Make it rain on a brother. Yeah. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. That part. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that part. Shout out to Young Miami. Shout out to Old Miami. The fuck? Shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no enemies. We just have people amongst us who sometimes we just need to leave alone for a little while we go ahead and build our paradise and get our shit together. And once again, people that bump their heads, they wake up with bandages, and then they new people. So if they gonna bump their heads, let them bump their heads. You already know what it is. We got work to do. We don't have time to give out bandages. You know what I mean? Let them bump their heads. They're gonna be all right. We all bumped our heads before. We are, and look at where we at now. We okay. So let life do what life does. We are not here to save nobody. We are not here to put no capes on. We're not here to be congregational of judgmental people and shit like that. If you're gonna shake your ass, then shake your ass. You know what I mean? Don't let the rhythm you know what I mean, arrest your development. But don't be out there boosting either, my niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Don't be out there scamming and shit like that either. You know what I mean? Like, let's be mature. So with that being said, peace, love, and light to the family. Melanin Mondays. We'll see you mañana, inshallah. Y'all stay dangerous. Y'all stay focused. And we will see ya very soon. Theta waves. Peace.
Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sing 3-pointers, money shots, all net, all vets. Bums we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields. And interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube. And fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual. Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North Amex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers, fabric softener. Jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch Storch type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like Porsche lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, the scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descendant of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Blast.
Crumb TV.